Hello everybody, I'm William Wall, and today I'm going to read some of my translations from the Italian. And the poems I'll be reading will be from this book, Quando Eravamo Re, by the Italian poet Daniele Serafini. Daniele lives in Lugo di Romagna in the Emilia Romagna region of Italy. And I hope these poems will transport you to a very beautiful place in the estuary, or the old estuary, of the River Po, in a place called Comachio. The River Po, the estuary of the River Po shifts constantly and has moved many, many times in its history. And Comachio is part of the original, or at least one of the older estuaries. And it's a salt marsh area where the people, once upon a time anyway, lived mainly by salt panning and by fishing. It's a very, very beautiful district, and I think I would recommend anybody who's visiting that area to pay it a visit. Daniele's poems are very, very beautiful in the original, and of course in translation it's almost impossible to convey the beauty of the original language. But I hope that these translations, from which I have published in Modern Poetry and Translation, will convey something of the magic of that original poetry. The poems come from the poems I'm going to read come from the title selection, Quando Eravamo Re, and they each have as a refrain that line, Quando Eravamo Re, the time when we were kings. Place. Place is an incarnation where land becomes blood, where blood becomes wind, river, root, the primal spring. A place is the sheet music, the stave of the seasons. It is a body tattooed with drains, watercourses and hills. It is the broken code of crossings and landfalls, of waiting and returning, and the beloved face that calculated the course, the vision that linked the stars, and the Morse code written on water, the course we sighted in the time when we were kings. The marsh. The marsh is a boundary, a spineless caesura suspended in the emptiness, the real world that makes itself unreal. The hare sucked into the headlights, the moorhen forced to stubborn flight, the loyal eel migrating and returning. The marsh is horizon and prison, tamarisk and sandy bottom. It is a net cast into nothing, into air that smells of creosote. The marshes are a leave-taking, tender and pitiless. It is an obstinate footprint. It is the morning breaking on the salt meadows. The marsh is a baby just walking in a sepia-tinted snap. The marsh is the secret box, the inviolable looking glass of the time when we were kings. The journey. Sometimes it seems the journey is approaching its end and the circle closing. Then, in a moment, how we see things changes. Words are dog roses, fireflies whited out in the dusty evening. If words could restore to us the voices, gestures, faces, long turned to shades, the becoming of late roses, if they could slip between the chant and the disenchantment of the silent gods, or fix for a moment the eternal mutability of history, if they could just take flesh and blood and take this blow, reality. If words could only call forth islands, or voice the ecstasy and the torment of the time when we were kings. Thank you for listening. I hope wherever you are in the world that you and your loved ones are well and that you stay that way. I hope to see you again another time. Bye bye now.